Yo, what's up guys, your boy Nitrostorm here. Welcome back to Snowbreak Containment Zone. So as you saw from the previous video, there's a new big event going on right now, and I've covered pretty much all of the stuff except for the pay to win packs. You can check them out right here if you want to get them anyway. This one has no pulls. This one has 10 pulls for event characters, and then this one has 10 pulls for event characters and 10 pulls for event weapons. Now, this video will mainly be talking about Siris, right? Chenxing and Siris are both new characters, and Siris is the 4-star, also obtainable for free. This video will just analyze her kit as well as her gameplay, just to let you know my thoughts on her. So we'll try and go through this very quickly. So as you can see, they are maxed out at level 80 with 5-star weapon. Now, I would argue that tiny grains, I'm not sure if you can utilize this second part of the passive where the taking damage part, especially if you have, actually yeah, it might actually work because you do have barrier, taking damage. Yeah, you can utilize it very well. But yeah, I wouldn't say you need this at all on her. I'll explain why soon. Now, moving on to her skills, just to keep in mind, manifestations are all activated, so some of the multipliers that you see here at maxed out may not be what you will see if you don't have the manifestation. But in any case, her first skill is called Initial Coffin, cooldown of 15 seconds with 30 S energy cost. So the cost of this is, you know, on the higher end, right? Siris creates an initial blessing around herself, reducing damage taken by 25% and improving her anti-interruption ability. So there's not actually a barrier, it's a damage reduction buff and a super armor buff, right? And then if Siris dodges while initial blessing is active, gains Reborn Eye effect, applying aptitude of Bone Eater to her next shot, which adds kinetic damage to her shot. Now, the aptitude damage might seem a little low, but I'm pretty sure it applies to every single bullet, right? Which is pretty nice. Now, her neural skills basically increases damage dealt to shields with Bone Eater. And then when you roll, while initial blessing is up to get Reborn Eye, Siris instantly reloads 1 bullet. So I'm assuming if you don't have this active and you roll while it's up, you're still gonna have to reload, right, to get that next shot, assuming you're out of rounds. Now, her second skill, her support skill, is called Boundary Guard. Siris deploys DC's. Okay, before I start, actually, I was actually kind of right here, but you have to dodge manually after. The E itself doesn't dodge. But other than that, I was pretty much right on the mark on my analysis video. Now, as I mentioned here, support skill is called Boundary Guard. Cooldown 20 seconds and S energy cost of 30. So what that means is, if you're going to be using Siris, you're essentially going to have to choose between using her standard skill and using her support skill. Now, I would easily argue using her support skill, as it's very nice in utility and defense. So Siris deploys Deceased Protection to a fixed location in front of her, blocking enemy fire. It's essentially a wall. You can think of it like, let's say if you play League of Legends, for example, Yasuo, his wind wall is essentially like that. You block enemy fire, and this lasts for 15 seconds out of the 20 seconds, so you have a 5-second downtime. And then the damage absorbed by Deceased Protection is 150% of Siris' max HP plus 1.6k. Now, her neural skills, Deceased Protection decreases the movement speed of targets within 2.5 meters by 50%, slowing them down. Pretty nice CC there, as well as increasing the AoE of the actual wall itself by 50%. Very nice. We'll see the size of this in game soon. Now, her ultimate is called Night of Revival. Classic 50-second cooldown, but the U energy cost is on the lower end. Very nice. Creates a Birth Dome, protecting herself and repelling surrounding enemies, so no actual damage is being dealt here. When Birth Dome is in effect, increases the protected operative's movement speed by 20% and reduces damage taken by 20% and improves anti-interruption ability, which I like to call super armor. and this lasts for only 10 seconds, right? This is just an emergency type situation, and then the damage absorbed by the dome is 70% of her max HP plus 595. Now, if you get neural skills, once this disappears after 10 seconds, restores HP to the protected operative equal to 20% of the remaining shield. So obviously, if you run out of the shield, you'll be healed for nothing if your shield was gone before the dome disappeared. Now, the second one, Birth Dome, simultaneously protects all operatives. So this might just be a co-op thing, but if it works for single player and it also applies to off-field operatives, then this is very nice for a healing effect for those out of battle for a guaranteed heal. And then last but not least, her Deiwos alignment. Each time any operative uses a skill, increases Siris' max HP by 1%, increasing an additional 0.1% for each 100 alignment index, max 30 stacks. So essentially, you want to use characters that have very low cooldowns on their skills, as well as even their support skills. So I have two characters in mind that you can use. So your first friend for standard skill spam is Life Wild Hunt's Frost Wolves with a whopping 5-second cooldown and a measly 5s energy cost. Your second best friend would probably be Enya with Nature's Gifts. Actually no, well, it is only 15 seconds, but yeah, it's still pretty high in cooldown, but I guess in terms of support skill cooldown, it's probably on the lower end, right? If you take a look at all these other ones, you know, they're over 15 seconds. So you also have Marion, and you also have yeah, I think it's because she has nice recharge. I think. Oh, never mind. But yeah, in any case, ignore the Enya bit. She just has low cooldown on her support skill. But yeah, pretty nice stuff here. And by the end of it, you'll have 30% max HP increase minimum at max Deiwos alignment level. Now, the most important part here is to address the manifestations, because they are all active currently with the trial character. So her first manifestation, Birth Sequence, when the support skill ends, as in the barrier disappears, the operative on the field obtains Initial Blessing for 5 seconds. Initial Blessing gained in this way does not obtain Reborn Eye effect when dodging. At the same time, Initial Blessing isn't removed when you're dodging, so it's a you know, there's a plus minus there. And if you're not sure what Initial Blessing is this buff here. Damage reduction of 25% and super armor effect. Very, very nice. And this essentially covers the 5 seconds downtime of her boundary guard with that big barrier. Now her second manifestation, any operatives shooting through said barrier has a 30% chance to obtain Aptitude effect of Bone Eater. So the Aptitude effect is here. So essentially speaking, if you have Siris with mega high attack and you're shooting through this, you could technically get a kind of damage boost. Just keep in mind it's kinetic damage, okay? Now, her M3, Harmony arrives. Deceased Protection, aka her support skill, can absorb an additional damage equal to 50% of Siris' max HP. Now, there's a higher likelihood that this 50% is already added onto this stat right here. So normally before M3, it's probably just 100% of Siris' max HP, which is still a pretty large amount, but M3 is a 50% boost to that, right? 50% more than usual. Now her fourth skill, Timeless. Initial coffin skill level +1 and increases the damage aptitude effect to 11% +42, exactly as stated here. Hence why I think this is already added into the skill as you see it. And then last but not least, End of the Night. Deceased Protection no longer has a time limit. only ending when it absorbs too much damage and breaks. Now, I could argue that M5 kinda messes up this one, right? But at the same time, if it doesn't break, do you really need this, right? So you could argue one way or another, but it specifically states here when deceased protection ends. But this doesn't really end, only after it breaks. So you could argue that the 5th manifestation might gimp you a little bit if you like the 1st manifestation. So keep that in mind, very important. I'll add this to like a pin or something in the video. But yeah, that's pretty much her whole kit. Her logistics, they're basically just using Zinye squad. In terms of stats, as you can see, they went with 75% efficiency. No, more so 70% efficiency when it comes to the amount of stats they gave. So keep that in mind as well. So now that we've got that out of the way, on paper she seems like a very nice defensive support, mainly utilized for her support skill and her ultimate skill, only for emergency situations. Now let's take a look at her gameplay together. So hopefully from analyzing those skills, we now have a better understanding on her kit. And now let's take her out for a spin. So let's do the shot here. E, roll. Yep, that one shot has been reloaded, and then buff damage right there. I think. I think so. Okay. Let's take a look at the support skill. This is the wool. This is with the 50% size, so very nice range in my opinion. But obviously, it'll cause them to walk slow, right? To walk towards you. So just keep that in mind. And then let's try this again. As you can see, I don't have enough energy to use my E, so you basically have to choose one or the other. So I shoot, just roll, and then shoot. The little numbers that you saw, the 300s, that was the extra damage from Bone Spear. Alright, we've got one more thing to do here, I think. That's just to showcase our ultimate ability.
Objective complete. Got the recording.
Okay, here we go. Let me just increase the volume here. Okay, so ultimate.
Let me take you to do it.
There you go, massive shield.
I'll remember this one.
And then shooting, roll, shoot, some big damage, right? And then everyone gets healed. Now, pretty straightforward stuff, but now let's test something. Alright, we're back. So, as you can see, my Chenxing has 16,603 HP. So we're going to be testing out her ultimate to see if the neuronics that was stated in the ultimate, if that heals off-field characters. Now the reason for that is because it stated that it also affects all operatives, right? The ultimate affects all operatives. So we're about to see. Well, first I need to get away from them so I can get 20% of the heal. So I need to ensure that until 10 seconds runs out, that I still have the barrier active. So let's see. Look at the top right. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Situation is under control.
She actually gets healed. Oh, that is very strong. So if you don't get hit that much, you can heal operatives off field. That is very strong. That is very strong. Okay, let's get out of here. So test succeeded. That is actually very, very nice. I knew there was something here. Very good, very good. So overall, very nice defensive option. Just keep in mind it is defensive option defensive option until you reach manifestation 2, where if you shoot through the support skill wall, you'll be having a 30% chance of getting Bone Eater aptitude damage which is 3 damage, right? So just something to note. Probably most effective when using SMGs or assault rifles. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Siris. Overall, she's very nice. As a main unit, probably not. As a support unit on the side, just casting your support skills and maybe perhaps ultimate skills in dire situations, then yeah, she will definitely be a fine choice. In any case, apologies if the video took a little while. I wanted to ensure that we go into a deep dive analysis into Siris as much as I can with the limitations of operative trials, but I feel like we've done enough here. So if you got any more questions in regards to Siris or anything in general, do let me know down in the comments below. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.